Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about Battlegrounds Season 38, potential MVPs, strategies, and the things that don't matter because you are likely not even gonna try very hard, are you? Honestly, the biggest secret advanced strategy for many of you will be go grind arena for a month. You can easily get well over 8,000 units if you do it properly. You can grind your 2,000 units in like a week and a half for sure, and buy your blade piece. But if you are convinced that you want to play Battlegrounds and you do want to get to GC, then let's discuss the potential victory track meta and requirements and so on and so forth. So first things first, your remaining health doesn't matter. That immediately, exclusively means Recoil masteries, or you're going to lose basically any mirror matchup. Recoil masteries and a better Wi-Fi. Because making mistakes doesn't matter. The things that will matter is going to be your Recoil masteries. Do you have some? If not, you're poor. You should get some. Stop being poor. Spend some money. Or grind some units. Right, so Recoil masteries will be a huge advantage here because, again, your remaining health doesn't matter. Your defenders purify the debuffs at the beginning of the fight anyways due to the ebb and flow knockdown node. So yes, they will be slightly, less durable on defense, but at the same time, the speed benefit that you gain is quite huge. Right. So, yeah, Ihulk's finally a viable attacker. I'm actually kind of tempted to rank 4 my Ihulk for this. That's besides the point. Right, so Recoil masteries are active. That's a massive advantage immediately. If you do not have Recoil masteries, tough shit. You're going to have to suffer. You're going to lose a lot if you don't. The second big thing is, before we get into the nodes, effectively getting hit in the face is not important and often kind of can be a good strategy now because, eating a combo to the face is by far de facto fastest way to get power. And it can often help you get your level 2, then you can knock your opponent down, then you get your 40% fury and then drop a level 2 to finish off the fight. So with a handful of champions, we also have abilities that you kind of want to trigger, generally that you don't, because getting hit in the face is not an option. Now it is, so it will kind of open a few champions to be played slightly differently. I don't know, Captain Britain, she needs to get quickly at level 3. If you end up using her on attack, eat a couple of combos, get level 3 as quickly as possible. Right, that said, let's take a look at the nodes. The main node is Ebb and Flow Knockdown, which is basically the defender has protection, reducing all incoming damage by 60%, knocking the defender down, removes this protection, and grants you a Fury passive, increasing attack rating by 40% for 12 seconds now. The best champion for this, by the way, still suits Spider-Man, because he can pause that Fury, and you effectively never have to knock the opponent down, and in between the Recoil Masteries and this 40% Fury, still suits Spider-Man is going to be an absolute nuke in the bank. Right, and we also have Immune Cycle, Slow, Heal, Block, and Stun. The one that really kind of messes you up sometimes is basically every 20 seconds, opponent goes stun immune for 10 seconds, and then your parries will fail, and you can get smacked in the face. But luckily for you, it doesn't really matter that much if you eat a handful of hits to the face. So in my limited amount of testing in the off-season, I just basically ignored that node. I didn't really care too much what they're immune to because I was too busy trying to nuke everything down.
At Fuming Testicles 987.40 rupees. Big fan. Red heart emoji.
I mean, thank you for that. You're still not hairy balls though, but I appreciate you. Right. We also have a node that helps Saga attackers effectively when blocking or struck by the defender's special attacks, gaining unstacking 15% energized passive. This effect also grants 30% armor rating. When activating a special attack, gain unstacking 15% amplify passive. This also grants 30% critical damage rating. When the attacker gets tagged in by the striker, or when the striker enters ISO burst, gain these energize, amplify passives. If activate ISO burst, pause the effects of ISO until ISO burst ends. So this is the first time we actually kind of get a bigger benefit for ascended champions. But in general, it is not hyper important type of change. The Saga attackers will just, again, get a little bit of a benefit, largely thanks to that energize that you can get, which means you can get your special attack quicker and you get a little bit of a damage boost there. Other than that, it's kind of very basic meta, which again in this case means roster construction. Well, first I'm going to show you my basic Recoil setup. I might change it. I mean, I probably will not play enough Battlegrounds to warrant a change, but this is my generic Recoil Mastery setup that I use. Currently, I have spec'd this for Battlegrounds on as well, with 3 out of 5 in MD, and maxed out Despair, and maxed out in Equity. It's not perfect mastery setup for this meta. I haven't made it specifically for this meta. Otherwise, I would have done it slightly differently. Right. Then if you look at the Battlegrounds, I can show you my current deck. But the base idea is you just kind of want as nuky champions possible. There's going to be a litany of defenders that are kind of irrelevant. Like, you know, some champions have maintained their relevance that used to do damage to the defender or chip damage, like Dark Phoenix, largely because she also has the safeguard on, like Captain Britain also has the safeguard on, but they're definitely, you know, available to be taken down by many more counters. Luckily, just about anything in this meta is. So then name of the game here is just, you know, making sure that you can kill your opponent in the first place. And the name for the attackers is just make sure you can nuke everything down. That's it. So which champions benefit from these things? The most obviously champions with guaranteed crits, like Hitmonkey, for instance, gets a lot nukier because all the champions like that generally get a massive damage boost due to Recoil Masteries and that passive Fury. So Hitmonkey is a much bigger nuke. Then obviously you do need to kind of carry a handful of your regular champions, regular defenders. But the name on the defense really is the stall tactics for most part. Champions that, you know, have protections, utilize an equity mastery, are incredibly fat and chunky like your Sasquatches and Rintress and whatnot. All of those things do have counters, but realistically, most amount of matches quite literally come down to how fat of a defender you have or how good of a stall defender you have. So, you know, Nick Fury is going to be good to have. Yelena is kind of like one of the MVPs here. Yelena to me is like an auto ban basically. So Nick Fury is quite nice too. Something like Sinister can potentially work a little bit. If you're running Recoil Masteries, Heimdall is insane because he gets an indefinite indestructible at the end. So unless opponent has like a very good counter option to that, Heimdall's like unkillable and a guaranteed win here. So we have Fat Master, we do have Thanos with his protections, he does quite well. We have Dark Phoenix because again there is the safeguard. Then we have Zola, that also is quite good at, you know, stalling the opponent, as is Stalwark. So those are the champions that I still run. Nico Minoru is kind of crap in this meta, by the way, because again, the amount of poison damage she does to you doesn't really matter, so you don't need to be as careful when fighting her and offensively. Because of Ebb and Flow knockdown node, all the debuffs she places as an attacker on the defender at the beginning of the fight get purified, so she can't start any fight with her buff immunity active on the opponent. Also, Ebb and Flow knockdown node will remove your poisons and your buff immunity every 12 seconds or so. So Nico is significantly worse than she normally is. But there we go. So that is my current roster here in my testing. You know, Shatter was quite nice because with the Recoil Master, she has a good amount of damage increase. And you do not care or rely on any debuffs. Pavitra does okay. Juggy is obviously quite good. In science class, we do have Spider-Woman with her severe debuffs. Those do not get removed. So she can do quite nice. I was testing my Spider-Punk. I'll probably take him out. But Thing was obviously a decently good defender. Then Hitmonkey was one of my MVPs for the meta for sure. Okoro is actually kind of bad in this one. Bullseye actually does reasonably okay because he gets better damage and he's also a better defender here. Then, you know, Gentle was good. Captain Britain was good. I will make some edits to my deck still. Thanos and Heimdall both did amazingly well for me. And as did Shocker, by the way. Because with Shocker, again, you can just knock the opponent down with your level 2, charge a heavy attack, that 40% Fury, plus Recoil boost, You can basically kill anything in level 1, level 2. But yeah, that is my current deck, and it's gonna be a bullshit season. It really will be. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It really is shit. This season also empathizes your roster size much more than any other, because again, they're taking away one of the kind of like 3 pillars of Battlegrounds mode, because Battlegrounds mode is your fighting skill, your knowledge of the champion interactions, and your roster size. And number 1, it takes away just about all the skill, because again, getting hit in the face doesn't matter, so you can do some dumb things and easily win with 10% remaining health when an opponent has a perfect fight. So that's 1. Number 2, it also kind of invalidates a lot of your knowledge and interactions and the matchups knowledge that you have with the game, because again, a lot of interactions are based on, you know, inflicting chip damage or dealing damage, and all of that aspect of the game has gone away. And it only rewards bigger roster. That is the only thing that gets highlighted in this version of the Battlegrounds. So and Recoil masteries, you know, if you don't have those, then you're also massively disadvantaged. So that's where we're at. Kabam thought it is a good experiment to kind of subject all of us to. So my kind of desire, my wish, my sincerest encouragement for you guys to do is just let Kabam know exactly what you think about this Battlegrounds season, and let everybody know exactly how much fun you are having in this new age Battlegrounds. And hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, this is a permanent change. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have